This week's Safety Toolbox talk is on different types of personal protective equipment. How many types are there? You may be surprised in regard to personal protective equipment and some of the descriptions that I give you in this video this particular week. We're at the end of March. We're firing up. We're hiring back a lot of people. Our restoration division is going crazy, bringing back a lot of tuck pointers, laborers, carpenters, bricklayers. So here we go. Let's talk a little bit about administrative personal protective equipment. When we hire back, we send our people through a work steps program to make sure that they can do their job description. We do a background check. We give you a handful of personal protective equipment for the field when you head out into the field. But on the management side, we're doing pre-construction safety plans to try and figure out what the logistics of the project is, and then what the hazards might be associated with the logistics of that project. This would include a project having SDS sheets available for the trades so that they understand what they're working with, how they can protect themselves, and how they might get hurt by that component. Clinic location posted on your job is an administrative control. Safety training is an administrative control. As you can see, I'm reading off my handy dandy text that accompanies this video. Looking at engineering controls for personal protective equipment, let's talk a little bit about engineering controls. Negative air machines for ventilation, a lot of times in our hospitals or for our demo scopes, to ventilate the air and change out so that we have fresh air to breathe. Our sticky mats going in and out of hospital locations, the Magna Helix to confirm we have negative air achieved. Wet methods for grinding and chipping concrete, fire extinguishers, metal gas cans as part of PPE if you think about this. Not plastic gas cans because they don't have the flash arrestor or self-closing lid, but metal gas cans. Slip-resistant access routes, especially if we make ramps of any sort out of planks and plywood, we want them to be slip-resistant. 4 gas meters for confined space, we want to monitor the atmosphere. Barricades and flags and stanchions up on roofs to establish controlled access zones. Scaffold tags for stair towers and supported scaffold systems. Canopies for falling object protection. There are so many things to think about. Even guardrails for fall protection is an engineering control for personal protective equipment. Now on the other hand, PPE, hard hats, shock resistant C87 lenses, safety glasses, right? Hearing protection for decibels over 85 on a job site, which would be a skill saw or maybe working at an airport where planes are taking off every 35 seconds and the decibels are at 120. A face shield is required on Berglund job sites for cutting abrasive metals, rebar, steel stud and track. We don't want those sparks and slag hitting us in the face, maybe even jackhammering concrete. Now we do have full face respirators and we've got the particulate cartridges. This is Berglund's way of protecting your lungs. Give you the best. It's not a half mask and it's not a nuisance mask, an N95 for sweeping floors primarily. This is not good for silica. What am I working with? Can it be absorbed through my skin? If so, let's wear rubber gloves versus any regular pair of gloves, especially demo. I had a circumstance the other day on a project where I found a laborer cutting out black iron in the ceiling of an existing structure. The black iron is very sharp. Please keep in mind we are a long sleeve contractor, Kevlar sleeves, a hooded sweatshirt with long sleeves, while we're working up and drop ceilings, doing plaster demo, and cutting out sharp objects. So there's a lot of things to look at when it comes to personal protective equipment. My high-vis vest is PPE. My steel-toed shoes is PPE. Rubber boots is PPE. Knee pads, probably one of our weakest links as a company. I see tradesmen kneeling all the time on concrete floors and wooden decks, and they don't have knee pads on. It's only a matter of time before you have a chronic condition with the knees in regard to doing those kinds of works. And in my experience in safety, I did have a tradesman years ago kneel on a small pebble, and he cracked his kneecap, and he was out of work for 6 weeks. It was a lost time injury because he didn't have knee pads. So again, think about your task. What do I need? Obviously, we got hard hat, safety glasses, and work zone vests, but do we need a particular glove? Do we need knee pads? Do we need a harness, a lanyard? That's also personal protective equipment. We can go on and on and on in regard to personal protective equipment, but we need to think about what we're doing, how it can hurt us, and how can we protect ourselves. Let's have a safe day. Let's have a safe week. Thank you.